Welcome, everyone, and especially those who are watching it for the first time. My name is Dr. Shubhda Chaudhary, and this is the fourth episode of Chakravyuh. Today, we are going to talk about something very important, which is that Indian Foreign Minister, Dr. Shri Jaishankar, called the Iranian Foreign Minister, Dr. Araghchi, who actually is a PhD in Kantian philosophy. Anyway, coming back on the fact that yes, two oil tankers from India would be able to cross. Parimal and Pushpak would be able to cross the Strait of Hormuz because yesterday and day before yesterday there was a huge hullabaloo in India that what is happening to LPG, what is happening to the natural gas, and what is happening to our restaurants that are suddenly shutting down because of a war which is happening thousands of kilometers away. But the point is, as an Indian, how do I see it? And what I don't understand, first, the chronology of it. First, Bangladesh. Bangladesh got the permission one day before. Bangladeshi energy advisor Iqbal Hassan Mahmood Tiku. He actually met with the Iranian ambassador to Dhaka, and Bangladesh got the permission. And after that, Dr. Jaishankar called Dr. Araghchi, though it is the third call that he has made since the escalation of the crisis. Now, it makes few very interesting paradigms that are there. On one hand, we say that we have a multi-vector, dehyphenated approach. And one should have. Many of the European countries and US and many of the Arab countries also have that. If questions are being asked about India's approach, towards Israel, then what about UAE? What about Jordan? What about Egypt? Those questions are also there. But as an Indian, what do I see? The first thing is that the timing and the optics of it, the timing and optics of the visit of Prime Minister of India to Israel on 25th, 26th of February, that was very ill-timed. And he going and stating very openly that we strongly stand with Israel is something which was not necessary. Now, why did he say so? There can be many reasons. The rumors are because of the Epstein files and the connection of, Hardeep Singh Puri in it, though there was an investigation which was launched. I'm not aware that who was investigating it. And though he has been, free of charges, but we don't really know. We don't know. In 2017, when Prime Minister Modi goes to Israel for the first time, it is an Indian billionaire, Anil Ambani, who acts as a back channel, channel for mediation. It's not our foreign minister at that point of time who is Sushma Swaraj. It's Anil Ambani who is doing the back channel. He is writing, and Hardeep Singh Puri, they all want to get into the inner cabinet of Trump, especially with Steve Bannon. Now, Steve Bannon is not there in the inner cabinet, but Jared Kushner is. You say that Jared Kushner is actually dictating Trump's policy, and Trump is also going and mudslinging against Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff and everyone. But the fact of the matter is, the first question, as soon as the Prime Minister goes, the Commerce Minister of US, Howard Lutnick, comes to India and meets our Commerce Minister, Piyush Goyal. Now, who is doing the back channel diplomacy this time? First. The second question is that Epstein files, are they really something which, because Donald Trump keeps on harassing, and he does that for everyone, by the way, but he keeps on harassing and saying that, he has something on the Indian Prime Minister Modi and he doesn't want to destroy his political career. Okay. Now, the entire question is, A, what does this permission mean? Because we as Indians are divided into two camps. Now, always, a binary thinking is a trap. Whenever your mind is doing a binary thinking of this versus this, it's a trap for yourself because you're not able to see the various kinds of other variables that are there. Now, this is turning very academic, but the point is that the entire idea that even if the Iranian foreign minister says that, okay, India has the permission, what is the guarantee that what happened to the Thai flagged vessel will not happen? Because right now, the supreme leader, Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei, has not been seen publicly. Though I must say that he doesn't do public appearances. He doesn't do. At the same time, Netanyahu has also not been seen publicly for the past 3 to 4 days. But the point is that what about IRGC? IRGC right now, is it working in tandem with Iranian president and Iranian foreign minister? Has it gone completely berserk? Is it really attacking all the oil tankers it can without taking any kind of permission from anyone? So what about the internal fractures within Iran? So, what is the longevity of this permission? That's the first thing. The second thing is that when the question that was asked recently, which was very interesting, that how can an Indian prime minister be criticized if the war is between US and Israel versus Iran? Now, technically, it's a very simplistic understanding of the war. Let me give you an historical antidote. The historical antidote is that a Suez Canal crisis, when Egyptian President Nasser, he openly said in 1956 that, look, Suez Canal is our property. We are going to nationalize it. We are not going to pay for the British and the French interest anymore. It was the point of Arab nationalism. And at that point of time, on 29th of October 1956, Israel invades Sinai desert. 31st of October, UK and France start bombing Egyptian airfields. US under Dwight Eisenhower, because it was a time of the Cold War that didn't want Egypt to go into the Soviet faction, was like, no, we have to intervene and we have to cause a ceasefire. At that point of time, something similar is happening. Is this the nationalization of the Strait of Hormuz that is happening right now? Because technically it's not open, it's not closed. But the question is that something which you don't know is that the Israeli foreign minister, who resigned in June 56 because he had altercations with the Israeli prime minister at that point of time, David Ben-Gurion, he was in Delhi. He was coming and he was there having a conversation with Nehru. Because we had recognized Israel, but we just had a certain kind of commercial entity in Mumbai, which Israelis called as the Siberia of India, and not some diplomatic, embassy in Delhi. So he was there in India, and he basically was there to convince Nehru that how complete diplomatic continuity between Israel and India should be established. Now, this is something which is very interesting. He didn't know that the Suez Canal crisis had broken out. Moshe Sharat didn't know about what the Suez Canal crisis has opened out. And this is from his diary at that point of time, when he is in Delhi. I surfaced from the oblivion of sleep and immediately plunged into a sea of anxiety when I remembered what the day held for me. The very first talk I was to hold with Prime Minister Nehru, but my musings on the riddle of the partial mobilization of our forces, reported by the press the day before, he's talking about the Israeli press, were rudely interrupted by a call from the United Press representative who asked for my comments on the latest news. I had not seen the papers, so I asked him what it was about. He told me that IDF had invaded Sinai, and one of its columns was approaching the Suez Peninsula. According to the morning's news broadcast, they were fighting 20 miles away from the canal. It is difficult to find the words to describe the storm of feelings that raged inside me. One cannot play a storm on a musical instrument. We were at war. We were involved in an initiated war. We were the aggressors. This is the Israeli foreign minister in 1956. So, by the way, the point is that why are we caught up into it? The timing, the optics of the 25th, 26th visit to Israel was completely wrong. Now, whatever, the inner cabinet of Trump has on Prime Minister Modi, whatever Netanyahu has on Prime Minister Modi, we don't know. There was a Knesset medal that was given to Prime Minister Modi, which has never been given in the history of, Israel, because the Israeli presidential honor is given to the leaders of the state that come, be it Angela Merkel or Barack Obama or Henry Kissinger. Now, the Knesset medal, I don't know what it was. The Israelis can tell me what it was. But the point is, see, we have 80 to 90 lakh Indians in the Gulf countries. We have 85,000 Indian Jews, plus 30,000 Indian students, healthcare professionals are working in Israel. Are they really safe? That's the first question. The second question is that according to my sources, there has been a massive silence by the Indian ministry in terms of the death of our own generals who were retired but serving, say, in Gaza, in Rafah, or in the IDF when Israel was shelling the Golan Heights, or also in the fact that there's no, this is on 14th of December last year, there were 2 or 3 Indians who were completely torturously beaten up by few Israelis in Ashkelon. And the video went viral only on 14th of February this year. So coming back to the names of the Indian generals, 25th of December 2024, Brigadier Amitabh Jha, Deputy Force Commander of UNDOF in Golan Heights. He died under mysterious medical circumstances when IDF was shelling Golan Heights. Havildar Sureshar, again, died, killed, Golan Heights by IDF. Colonel Web Havanil Kale, retired, Security Coordination Officer, Gaza, Rafah. Now, Indians, Chinese, many are not getting, shelters. This happened last time when a lot of Filipino workers were complaining about it. Israeli general goes on openly on TV bashing that, we have 1.4 billion, Indians who are ready to buy our Iron Dome and Iron Beam, even if we don't have a production line. That is completely, I'm sorry, but that is quite embarrassing. But the fact is that we are divided into two camps. Why do we have such a strong, suddenly cultivated, such a strong, very strong bromance with Israel? Is it because of Netanyahu? Is it because of Epstein files? Is it because, we are the largest importer of arms from Israel, but we don't get the source code. We don't get technology transfer. We don't get co-production rights. US has the right to veto any kind of defense, change that Israel does. So what are we getting? Are we back from the discourse of being the moral voice of the global South, when especially we are the BRICS presidency chairpersonship, into the third world paradigm? Why so much of hatred? There's nothing wrong, there's nothing wrong with an Israeli citizen or an Iranian citizen. There's a difference between the political elite, the assimilist and the maximalist of both the camps, even in US, with those who are the real people, the population. There's where social constructivism in academia comes into the power play. The people have their own identities and interests. So do the Indians. Why are a lot of Indians acting as pro-Israeli bots on Twitter or X? That is something which is very embarrassing. I don't understand it. There's no connection. I can be wrong. But there's no connection between Judaism and Hinduism. These are two different branches of faith. Historically. The teachings can be, assimilated and prove that, yes, there are connections. But that can be with all the religions in the world. The third is that if, the entire nationalization of Suez Canal, the crisis that took place, that is the same kind of crisis that's taking place with the Strait of Hormuz. The idea is that are we really an independent, sovereign country? Is it actually a diplomatic win? It's not a diplomatic win. If your prime minister goes to Israel and says, we strongly stand with Israel, it's not a diplomatic win. It's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing optics that we are there. So anyway, the question for Chakravyuh today is that has India been caught into the entire narrative of being the global South leader? Or on the other hand, we were never actually there. It was a post-truth hyper-real experiment which was done socially engineered with the minds of the Indians, thinking that we are so independent, but we aren't. So the point that we need to question is that only why after Bangladesh got the permit, suddenly we called the Iranian foreign minister. Second, what is the longevity of it? IRGC is not in control of the Iranian president or foreign minister. Third, what will happen with our ties with Israel now? The question is that if Iran, because we cultivate the entire idea that Muslim countries, but the point is that no, this is the fight between two world orders. Do understand it. On one hand, you have, remove Spain from it. On one hand, you have Israel, Western Europe and US. On the other hand, you have Russia, North Korea, China, Iran, which is called as KERNK. And we are caught in between of it. What kind of independence is this? This is not any kind of independence that we have. It is just a kind of, optics, ambiguity that has been created in the minds of Indians. And I'm sorry, we are not doing very good with that. Thank you for the privilege of your time.